Hey guys and gals, welcome back to Best Tool Upgrades. As some of you may know, last year, based on request of our customers, we started offering a new upgrade kit, this one right here, which is the DuckHead swing arm upgrade to the Harbor Freight manual tire changer. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys have been buying a lot of them. But we've also gotten some questions about what's the difference between ours and some of the others that are available for sale out there on the various platforms. Today, we want to go ahead and answer those questions for you. This is the example that we bought off of, I think, Amazon. I forget, but they're available widely. I'm not going to mention the particular vendor we got this from, but this is the generic alternate design that are sold by quite a number of different vendors across a variety of different price points. So let's see what we have here. Let's do a direct comparison to what we have in the Best Tool Upgrade Kit, and we're going to let you make the decision in terms of which ones you feel is right for you. First of all, this is what you get. You get the swing arm, you get the vertical post that the DuckHead attaches to, and you get the adapter piece that connects those two. So the first thing I want you to look at is that this requires a tool. When you're getting ready to adjust this, you need to find a wrench, box wrench, monkey wrench, anything, and you need to be doing this. So I'm trying to do with one hand to be able to adjust the vertical post up and down. But even more than that, when you want to adjust how far that post is for the sake of the size of your particular rims, you've got to undo this, you've got to undo this, you've got to slide it where you want to put it, you got to put this back in here, you've got to kind of hold everything because it's sitting in the middle of the air basically. Then you've got to start tightening this for the right height. Make sure that you've got it sitting in the right position for the rim. Then you got to come in behind it. You need to tighten this, but you don't want to tighten it too tight because then you have to come in and tighten this. And to make sure it's all snug down in the corner, then you have to come back and you have to tighten this. When you slide the square tubing over square tubing, you tighten one of these up. You can't tighten it all the way up because now you need to tighten this up to make sure that you've got this all the way to one side and in the corner. Now you need to go back and tighten this up, and then finally you need to go back and tighten that up. So what you really have here is a four-step process requiring the use of the tool. So does it work? Yeah, it works, but it's a little cumbersome. Let's see how that works in the Best Tool Upgrades version. We have a total of 2 T-handles, so no tools are required. You unscrew it a little bit, set the height, screw it back down. That's it. There's not 2 screws here, but 1. So you undo this, set the distance, tighten it back up. You're ready to go. No tools needed. So let's look at this with just a little bit more detail. You'll notice that when I put this in there, we're putting a large circle into a square, which means that when I tighten this up, it's being captured in 3 places, here, here, and here, and it is self-centering, so it's always going to sit just in the right position. Here's the alternative design when we put this in, and of course then we need to get a tool to tighten it. It's being captured in 2 places, here and on the back side of the rod. That makes it less secure, and as you're pushing hard on this, it means that this can wiggle or this can spin unless you really crank this down as hard as you can possibly turn it. Let's go back to this. I'm going to find my tool that I probably lost since the last time I used it. I'm going to pull the post out, and I'm going to show you that before you assemble this, you need to go ahead and match up the holes in the slots. This is the Hunter DuckHead. It did not come with this. It does come with one of our upgrade kits. There was no hardware to attach this, so you either have to find it in your hardware stash or you go out and buy some. Would put a lock washer in there, but I'm not going to take the time to do that right now. Half done, everything's good. Now you put the second one in, but you can't put the second one in because the slots, even though they've given adjustment slots, do not match up against the hole pattern in the standard top quality Hunter DuckHead piece. So now what you need to do is take it apart all again. Take this over to your drill press. Now you've got to enlarge the slots a little bit. Now you can come back and begin to assemble this. Let's compare this to what you find on the Best Tool Upgrade version. We supply the hardware at any 3 levels of the kit, which includes grade 8 bolt, nut, and lock washer. You'll notice that on the bottom of our vertical post there is a steel flange that exactly matches the shape of the duck head. I won't go ahead and screw these in there. Well, actually, let's just do it again. I won't use the lock washers, but there is a perfect match. You know it's going to line up. You know it's going to work perfectly, and you're not going to have to go over to your drill press to remachine a part that you bought, assuming that it would work. Now, let's look at a little bit of welding here. Let's take ours out. Let's take theirs out. First of all, you'll notice that there's no special flange here. There's a piece of angle iron, which obviously got cut off to use. It doesn't quite cover the full base of the duck head, but I guess it's okay. I'm not going to fault the fact that this is a solid piece of steel, so I have no doubt that that's sturdy. But because we have a much larger diameter post, we also have a lot more weld surface. You'll also notice the quality of our welds and the splattery welds that you get on these alternative design swing head vertical posts. So there's another difference. Let's look at a couple other things. Let's just look at the overall size. Here's the alternative that we bought off of, I think, Amazon. Here's ours. Obviously, this additional height gives you the ability to use wider rims. Are you going to buy one of these and then find out that you're 3/4 of an inch too short to be able to mount and dismount the tires on your particular wider rims? Well, you don't want to be in that sort of disappointing situation. Now, here's something else that's extremely important. And I'm not going to throw a micrometer on this. We're going to go over to my tire changing station. But I think you can see that the wall thickness of these two tubes, this is ours, this is the Amazon model, are essentially the same. But if we hold them end to end, you will see that the outer diameter of the Amazon version is quite a bit larger. And that means that the inner diameter is quite a bit larger than ours. So why is that important? It's important because we're going to slip these over the center post that comes with the basic Harbor Freight manual tire changer, and you're going to see that our tolerances are much tighter. They've allowed for a bigger tube because they weren't that worried about tolerances, and you're going to see the slop and the slack when these drop over that center tube. So let's actually slide one of these swing arm upgrades over the center post. This center post is what comes with your Harbor Freight manual tire changer. Here's the general alternative design that you find for sale all over the place. We drop this over, looks okay, swings around, but this is the level of slop, which means that when you're trying to push this thing around, you've got that much play in the system that's working against you. So let's put on the Best Tool Upgrade swing arm. It slides just perfectly. It swings around. It has some movement in it because you have to allow for variations in the diameter of this tube and in the weld that was done at the factory, whoever makes this for Harbor Freight. So once again, it slides around. There is some movement, but it is not sloppy. We put this one on. You can see the difference. This is just better designed, better built, better functioning. Let's take one more look at the inside of these pipes, and I'll explain to you why that slop is there in this alternative product. So let's look inside of these tubes. I think you can see that this is a raised seam welded tube. As a result, they have to allow for this raised area in terms of determining the inner diameter, and that's one of the reasons that you get that additional slop that you just saw at my own tire changing station. We look inside of the tube steel that we sell at Best Tool Upgrades. You will see that this is a smooth finish inside diameter, and so we have chosen tubing that more precisely fits over the center tube without providing any constriction that's going to rub. So it's tight enough without being too tight. It's loose enough without being so loose that it provides for that slop. All right, so just real brief recap. The common designed and produced swing arm available on multiple platforms, significantly shorter than ours. The tube with an internal weld seam that means that it's got to be larger and creating that slop when you drop it on the center Harbor Freight tube. You need a tool to go ahead and tighten and loosen all of these. With ours, there's only 2 bolts, not 3, and both of them are T-bolts. You don't need any tools whatsoever. Our welding is clearly better than what you typically see in these alternative models. We supply all of the hardware that you need to attach the DuckHead. There was no hardware here, and maybe one of the reasons there wasn't any hardware is because they didn't want you to immediately know that those 2 slots, even at their maximum width adjustment, do not fit the traditional Hunter nylon DuckHead itself. So these are the basic differences, and I just want to point out that our kit comes in 3 levels. You can buy just the swing arm, which includes all of this and the post, but not the DuckHead. You can buy our intermediate kit, which includes all of this plus the DuckHead, or you can buy our deluxe kit, which includes all of this plus the billet aluminum centering cone to protect your rims by centering them perfectly on the device, the bead dropout clamp, which really helps in terms of dropping that bead down into the dropout area and help you get it on and off much easier, and a pair of our rim protectors so that as you're sliding along with your tire spoon or tire rod, you can be moving these, leapfrogging them across, and not potentially scratch up your very valuable alloy or aluminum rims. So we hope that this has been explanatory and helpful, and just give you a better idea of why we are so proud of the quality, the craftsmanship, and the design that goes into the Best Tool Upgrades swing arm upgrade kit, and how it directly compares to just about all the others that you see in the marketplace that generally have this kind of design. Well, that's pretty much wraps it up for today. Look forward to hearing from any and all of you in the comments section below. Please check us out at partswasherupgradekit.com and look for the link in the description below. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a great day.